MasterBoris is back with a new video. What's good in the hood? Chicken nuggets with some hot sauce on them combos. Hey, yeah, Power fans, huddle up. Yeah, I watched the Power Book 4 Force Tommy Show series finale. I'm just gonna give y'all my quick thoughts about it. Quick video. You know what I'm saying? This whole episode 10, was like a Marvel movie. It was like an MCU moment right here, man. I would give it a 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like episode 9 had more weight than episode 10. But episode 10 was pretty much a setup for Power Legacy. Show starting, Tariq and Tommy, and it was bittersweet. I ain't gonna lie. When I heard this is a big rich town, I was smiling ear to ear. But there was just some things about this episode was cramped up, and I felt like there was some scenes that was kind of like reused or done over. I had that type of vibe where they could have put way more into the episode, or the episode could have been longer. Going out with a bang with the series finale, especially Tommy having his, I guess, last battle in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, and I also want to make predictions myself. First off, I want to say this. I did see people that was talking about this show. Power, about Ghost. James St. Patrick returning. Guys, y'all gonna have to let that go, man. Cause y'all gotta have to let that go. That Ghost ain't coming back. He dead. You know what I'm saying? And I saw y'all made videos of the IMDb joint of Ghost being in episode 10. When we saw the episode, he didn't show up. It was Tariq. So I can put myself in IMDb right now. That thing is not. It's not all the way accurate, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to let that go about James St. Patrick returning to the Power Universe, man. That man dead. Okay? He's deleted. He's into the next dimension. I will say this episode, I give it like a 7 out of 10. But the whole season itself, season 3, and the actor that played Tommy, Joseph Sikora, he had to get in the producer seat. He was like, man, we got to fix this because season 1 of Force was butt. He said it in so many words, but you know what I'm saying, in different interviews I've seen of him. But season 3, they ended with a bang, man. Like the whole season, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. But the worst episode was this one, the series finale, final episode. But and I see they got Vic Flynn and Jannard still alive in the Power Universe. It makes sense because it's pretty much a circle back moment of how in the very first episode of Force, how Tommy met Vic Flynn and Jannard while they was doing the drop. You know what I'm saying? With the Yardies or whatever. But I would say that Vic Flynn's pride of wanting to prove something and wanting to get at Tommy is gonna get him deleted. He's not gonna last long, and I don't think Jannard is gonna last long if they plan on being like the villains of Power Legacy. Okay. I really don't think Maria went to Mexico. I think she went to New York with Kate. Because Kate was like behind her as she was trying to plan her alone trip, one-way trip to go to Mexico. But I really think she's with Kate and probably gonna just lay low for there for a while. I like the interaction and the relationship that grew. That Miguel and Tommy liking each other and saying that, hey, we brothers. You know what I'm saying? And you got to thank Maria on that. You know what I'm saying? They coming together, you know what I mean? And they treating each other like family. And I think that was pretty cool. Shanti taking over the coalition. She's taking over the coalition, not CBI. Bones is taking over CBI. But Shanti is taking over coalition. That's probably what she wanted. She got in like the meeting with Che. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that she was gonna stick around. She was gonna be alive at the end of the season. Um, Bobby DeFranco. Now this scene, I kind of saw it coming that Bill Zing off Bobby DeFranco, because Bobby DeFranco just went out for emotion, for trying to get revenge to get at Tommy for killing Stacey Marks. But Bill Zane, his balls dropped when he offed freaking Bobby DeFranco. I'm like, oh snap. Okay, and now he's working with Tommy, working for him, and we gonna see a dirty, freaking U.S. attorney doing this thing. What else? And now I want to get to the part that everybody is probably talking about right now. Tariq returning, saving the day, because Tommy was almost done. He was surrounded. Tariq gonna come with like three or four blurred out foot soldiers. I don't know if that was from Noma's brother Chinadu's people, but we never saw him again after that. We just saw Tariq alone by himself in the later scenes of the episode. I thought that was pretty cool. He doing his thing. And Tariq, I kind of got a Kanan vibe from him, or, a vibe where I don't think he knew where he stood, with Tommy. But his interaction with D-Mac was very interesting. I think he was a little jealous at that, how D-Mac was telling, like, my uncle, he's that dude. And Tommy about to have a kid and all that. And Tariq was just soaking that in and trying to make it seem like he can relate to D-Mac, but he really can't, because we already know what Tariq did to his own father. Because, D-Mac was having a heart-to-heart about, what happened to JP. And I don't know, I just got a bad vibe. I don't even like Tariq, man. I don't like that character anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I was rooting for him when he was having trouble with the Tejadas and Noma. But that's the only time. But I can care less about Tariq. But anyway, I got like a bad vibe from him, and he pretty much manipulated also Tommy at the end of the show to come back to New York. Why would Tommy come back to New York after he faked his death in New York? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Tariq is lining Tommy up, probably gonna set him up to get killed, you know what I'm saying? And I think Tommy needs to be aware of that. I'm pretty sure he's aware of that, because it was a time when Tommy was after Tasha, his mom, and Tariq was gonna shoot Tommy to protect his mother. So I just feel like, Tommy got a lot of stuff going on. He got a girl. He about to have a kid with her. Tommy has a lot of weaknesses, and Tariq peeped that. You gotta understand, man. He was peeping, all the stuff that he sees in Chicago. Sean T. McGill and all these other people calling them working bees. I'm like, hey, watch it, kid. Watch it. Watch it, Tariq. Talking slick about them guys, man. Talking slick about, people in Chicago. Watch it, dog. And he peeped that. He peeped Tommy's weaknesses of what he got going on in Chicago. But Power Legacy, hey, it's happening. Hopefully it goes well, like the show itself. We ain't gonna see that until 2028. We ain't gonna see that in 2028. We got a long time for Power Legacy. We got Raising Canaans that's supposed to be coming up, the final season Raising Canaan, then Power Origins, and then 50 Cent got a new Fight Club show that he's supposed to bring out, and maybe Power Legacy after those shows. Yeah, that's a long time to be waiting on Tariq St. Patrick and Tommy show. But, I feel like Tommy is going to bring more problems. Tariq is going to bring more problems to Tommy. Because, Tommy got some old enemies in New York, like the Italians. The people that is related to Proctor. His daughter Lisa Marie, the Savellos, and they're probably going to deal with that in New York. Tariq and Tommy. But yeah, like I said, man, this episode was okay. Kind of rushed, but I feel like there was more to this episode and they just cut it out. Like I was getting that vibe. I could see through certain things in between scenes. I feel like Tariq was probably gonna show up with Braden and maybe Kane or who. No, he just showed up by himself with 3 or 4 blurred out African goons, probably that's associated with Chinadu. But yeah, it could have been more than what it was. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. You know what my opinion about the show. You know what I'm saying. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about the Power Book 4 Force series finale, and what are your predictions about these characters that we're gonna go see in Legacy. Would that be a time skip? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we gonna be like skipping time or whatever? And but like I said, it's gonna be a long time when Power Legacy come out. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I do a variety of videos here, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.